Hey everyone, it's Candace. Welcome back to my channel. You know, fall does officially begin on September 22nd. So this week I thought we would take a look at some of my fall favorites. We're going to be talking about some meals and snacks, some movies, some books. I've got a great announcement coming up at the end of the video that I'm sure you'll want to stick around for regarding books and reading. So that's coming up. And then just some of my favorite products that I do want to share with you that I think you might enjoy for this fall season, and it'll get you in a fall kind of mood as well. I am enjoying a delicious cup of tea, so I would encourage you to grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let's take a look at this fall favorites view from my landlocked beach house. One of my very favorite things about fall is the cool, crisp evenings. One of my favorite places to spend those cool, crisp evenings is outside on our deck next to our fire pit. Occasionally, not yet this year, for obvious reasons, title our Friday nights around the Fire Pit Fridays. Real original, I know. But we usually have some cocktails, dinner outside. It's a lot of fun. We also enjoy coffee and tea on the weekends out there. You know, if it's not in the evening, we'll start a day off with a cup of coffee or something like that out there. And then once we light the fire pit, we do like to make s'mores. And actually, I don't know who doesn't know what a s'more is, but I have a couple hacks for you. The first one, make your standard s'mores. Get the graham crackers, get the Hershey's chocolate. I'm sorry, I'm partial to Hershey's when it comes to s'mores, just the plain classic Hershey's chocolate bar. But I recently discovered that Kraft Jet Puffed makes s'more-mellows. They are square marshmallows that fit perfectly on a roasting stick. They toast beautifully. This is actually what one looks like. Perfect size for graham crackers. They toast beautifully, and you don't have to work so hard and end up breaking the cracker when you're making your s'more because it's already flat. So this is one hack, but I will take your s'mores to a next level. Use your Kraft Jet Puffed S'more Mellow, and rather than the standard graham cracker and chocolate separate, go buy a package of the Keebler Fudge Stripe cookies and use 2 of those. Toast up your s'more mellow, use 2 fudge stripe cookies around the s'more mellow. You've got your chocolate, you've got your graham, and you've got your marshmallow. And I know a lot of people like a lot of marshmallow, so this with a couple of fudge stripe cookies, that's gonna give you a lot of marshmallow. If you do happen to try this hack, please let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. Okay, since we're on the topic of food, another fall food that I absolutely love, especially on what would be football Saturdays, is to brew up a big crock pot full of chili and let it simmer all day long. One little hack that I like for my chili is I use a base of roasted red pepper soup rather than the classic tomato. It just gives a little sweeter flavor, but everything else I do the same. I brown the hamburger with some onion and garlic. I use dark red kidney beans, and then I mix that all together, brown it up in a skillet, put it in the crock pot, put the soup on top of it, and then use quite a bit of chili powder. My husband and I don't like really spicy chili, but we need to know it's chili. So And then we'll just let that simmer all day and enjoy it. And when we're ready to dish it up, we get a bag of Frito scoops, crumble those up on the top, use some sour cream and shredded cheese, and that is some really, really delicious chili. Now, if you're wanting more of a comfort food sort of situation, not that chili isn't a comfort food, but let's talk casseroles. Two of my very favorite casseroles to make in the fall are a chicken rice casserole that the recipe for it was passed down from my husband's grandmother. And it's just basically brown chicken breast, instant rice, cream of chicken, or cream of mushroom soup. I've actually used both. And you just combine them and put them in the oven for about 45 minutes. It's super simple. It does take a while, but it is so delicious. The other one I like a lot during the fall especially is the hamburger tater tot casserole. Same sort of thing, cream of mushroom soup, brown hamburger, onions, garlic, and tater tots on the top to brown. Bake it in the oven and you are good to go for a very hearty, very satisfying, very comforting meal. Since we're on the topic of food, let's talk about drinks. Of course, I have my tea here, and this tea is actually a new favorite to me. It is by the Ahmad Tea Company, and it's an herbal tea, so there is no caffeine, but it is their mixed berries and hibiscus blend of tea. It is wonderful, wonderful tea. It brews beautifully. Lots and lots of flavor. In this box, there are 20 individually wrapped tea bags. And it's just very comforting and nice to have in the evening, especially if I'm reading a good book. Now, we can't talk about beverages without talking about my absolute favorite beverage, which is coffee. When it comes to coffee, I am what I would probably consider a coffee snob. I like small batch roasts. I like to help support local coffee shops around town. So I do frequent them. I place orders for ground coffee that I can have at home. And I also order coffee that is Disney inspired. Two of my favorite companies to do that through is Joffrey's, of course. The nice thing about Joffrey's is that while they do have a large selection of Disney inspired coffees, they also have non-Disney inspired flavors. So check them out. You'll also want to check out Expedition Roasters. Has some of the most creative flavors that I've ever found in coffee. Past favorites of mine include their Enchanted Tiki Coconut, Ghostly Delight, which is a cinnamon bun flavored coffee that is just amazing. Actually, in my cabinet right now, I do have the Roundup Roast, which is a campfire s'mores flavored coffee. It's actually not as sweet as you might think with that kind of a flavor profile on it. You don't get really, really sweet like a marshmallow or anything. It's just a very nice smooth blend. And then I also have their seasonal Pumpkin King, which is, of course, pumpkin spice. I've been very happy with everything that I've ordered either through Joffrey's or Expedition Roasters, and I can't recommend either one enough. Speaking of coffee and tea, if you're really not in the mood but you want something from Starbucks, say, I discovered a new drink from Starbucks. It is one of their fall offering, and it's not actually on the menu. It is an iced chai tea latte. I prefer almond milk in mine, but you can of course get regular milk, and then ask them to add pumpkin cold foam. If you like pumpkin pie, this is probably going to become your new favorite drink, and I would love if any of you try this. Let me know what you think of it. I had my first one over the weekend, and I am just looking forward to this next weekend when I can get another one. They are absolutely delicious. Okay, next on our list of fall favorites is my body and hair care favorites. Let's start with shower gel. I love the brand Philosophy for shower gel. And this particular fragrance, the warm apple cider donut, is my favorite scent that they offer for fall. It's cinnamony, it's appley, it's so nice and cozy. I typically like to shower in the evenings rather than in the mornings, and this just puts me in the right frame of mind to curl up in the blankets and go to sleep. It's warm, it's comforting. And then, you know, you get out of the shower and you wrap yourself in a big robe, and it's perfect. Moving along in our skincare regimen, we have the Vanilla Pumpkin Body Butter by The Body Shop. The package does not look like this. This is last year's package, and I'm just about finished with this. So I will definitely have to get some more before the season is out. But again, like the shower gel, this just puts you in the mood for warmth, coziness, relaxation, and sleep. It's not overly heavily scented, in my opinion. I would say there is a bit more vanilla than pumpkin, but it is a very nice body butter nonetheless. It's super conditioning on the skin. It feels great. It rubs in very, very nicely. I love the Body Shop products. For hair care, for my shampoo and conditioner, I actually use Function of Beauty. If you haven't heard of Function of Beauty, they are a customizable shampoo and conditioning program based on your hair goals. So if you want, in my case, anti-aging, added shine, added volume, those are 3 of the 5 options in my formulation. What they will do is they'll take your hair goals and they'll formulate a conditioner and a shampoo just for you. You get to pick your fragrance, you get to pick your colors, and they will send them to you, and you can either subscribe or do a one-time purchase. But I'm actually on my second order of Function of Beauty, and I will never go back to other shampoo or conditioner again. It is wonderful. My hair has completely turned itself around from what it was, and I could not be more pleased with the products. So while it may seem a little more expensive than what you're used to spending on shampoo and conditioner, totally worth it. Now, because we are going into fall and the weather is going to be getting colder and drier, sometimes my hair needs a little extra help. So for a leave-in conditioning treatment, I use the Brio Geo Rosarco Milk leave-in conditioning treatment. Once I get out of the shower, I towel my hair dry. I put about 5 or 6 sprays of this on my hair from the middle of the shaft down to the ends, comb through it, and then wrap my hair up in my hair towel, and that's all I have to do. And it does great things for my hair. Leaves it manageable, doesn't leave it frizzy. It's just really good. This is definitely something I will buy again. Okay, let's talk TV. I recently finished the series The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu, and I cannot wait for the next season. I will recommend the show as long as you are a mature adult. It's got some pretty heavy subject matter. There's some pretty graphic violence in the show. And it's very thought-provoking at the same time. With that said, I love it, and it's probably something that I will go back, maybe not before the new season comes out, but it will be on my regular rotation of things to watch. The reason that I chose it as a fall favorite is because just the cinematography on it was shot in a place that looks very cold all the time. Like, the women always have long dresses, and I understand that goes with the rules of Gilead and all of that, but they all have cloaks and always head coverings and all of that, so it just seems very fall to me. And I know that there are parts of the show that do involve snow and things like that, so it just feels very fall to me, and the subject matter is pretty heavy, so I guess that's my reasoning for that. The second show that I enjoy watching in the fall is American Horror Story. I'm not real big on the horror genre per se, but I do like the first season of American Horror Story. That's the Murder House season, and it's just, I don't know what it is about it. I just really like it. I can't get into any of the other seasons of American Horror Story. They're just too much for me. They bother me. But the Murder House season doesn't seem to bother me probably quite as much as it should, given some of the subject matter touched on there. But that is something that I do enjoy in the fall. And the third show I have for you to recommend for watching in the fall, and this is because it is a long series and the episodes are about an hour long themselves. This show initially aired on Showtime, and it is The Tudors. This particular show is 4 seasons long. Each season features 10 episodes that are approximately an hour long. Maybe this 4th season doesn't have 10. I can't remember off the top of my head, but each of the episodes are about an hour long. It chronicles the very fictitious retelling of the life of King Henry VIII, who has always fascinated me, and the story of his 6 wives. It does begin when Henry is still married to Catherine of Aragon, who was his first wife. Goes through all the major events that we hear about with King Henry VIII, including his affair and eventual marriage to Anne Boleyn. And just some of the political realm of what was going on in that time period as well. Another cinematic masterpiece as far as scenery, costumes, that sort of thing. This is definitely something that I do watch my way through every year. Again, it's historically based, but it's not necessarily historically accurate all the way through. I do enjoy it. You get to see a young Henry Cavill. So yeah, I would recommend that as well. Okay, our next topic is movies. I love, on chilly weekend afternoons, I love curling up under a blanket and watching movies. The first pick for my fall lineup of movies is Sleepy Hollow. The Tim Burton version featuring Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci is one of my favorites. Again, it's pretty bloody, but it's sort of the typical Tim Burton over-exaggerated bloody, so that it's not quite as graphic, maybe, if that makes sense. So that's a favorite. Hocus Pocus is another one that I love, specifically in October. As I get older, I can identify with Winifred Sanderson more and more, and she's just awesome. I just love her. Bette Midler is awesome. The third movie I have for a fall selection is You've Got Mail. This one hits really close to home. My husband and I actually met in the days of AOL dial-up in a chat room. Long story short, we figured out that we had a mutual friend. We contacted her to check the other one out to make sure that, they weren't a weirdo or anything like that. And we ended up meeting, and the rest is history. So You've Got Mail it reminds us of that time, and it's just a really, really cute movie. I love Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan together. The next movie I have for you is What Lies Beneath. Harrison Ford, Michelle Pfeiffer, thriller, lots of jump scares. I don't know. This is just a great movie. It was kind of a sleeper when it first came out, I think, but there's a lot of merit to this movie, and it's one I definitely enjoy. The next one I have for you is Julie and Julia. Meryl Streep is one of my favorite actresses. Amy Adams is good in this production. She's not necessarily always my favorite, but she's no Meryl Streep, we'll put it that way. But this movie is wonderful. I'm a big Julia Child fan as well, and this kind of got that started. So, yeah, great fall movie. Very inspirational when it comes to baking and cooking. Along the same line of baking and cooking, how could we not? Ratatouille. The story of Remy, who is the little mouse, or rat, I guess. And he meets Linguini, who he basically uses to live out his dream of being able to cook. If you haven't seen it, it is worth every minute you spend watching. It is one of my favorites. There's some amazing music in this movie. The animation is just, it's stunning. It really is. I love this movie. I'm very excited for the ride to open at Walt Disney World as well. And then finally, my last movie recommendation for you, and how could we possibly go through the fall season without this if you are in my age bracket, or even if you're not. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. This is the original feature that was shown on TV, so like the animation will actually fade out when it was time for a commercial. This holds a lot of nostalgic value to me for that very reason. I remember being a little kid and being all excited about Halloween, and you knew that it was almost here when The Great Pumpkin was on, and so yeah, there's a lot of fun memories wrapped up in this. So this is a must-do every year. Okay, let's talk music. I have been in such a kick for the Lumineers and Mumford & Sons. I recently built myself a playlist in Apple Music, which I can actually share below if you'd like, of all of their albums. And I will turn on that playlist and just hit random, and I'm perfect. I'm good to go. Their music, both groups, are so wonderful. I've actually seen the Lumineers live in concert. It's been a while, and I would love to see them again. It's just very well done music. Additionally, I have discovered the album entitled Mr. By Leslie Odom Jr., specifically the song Get Crazy, but the entire album is fantastic. And I don't know why, but it's just like the sort of jazz undertones to it make me think of fall. I don't know why. But yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful album, and I would highly recommend, if you are a fan of Hamilton, that you look up Leslie Odom Jr. and his other works. He does have a holiday album as well, and then one other that I will put in the description bar. Okay, our last topic, but certainly not our least topic, is books. The first book that I read my way through every single fall is The Guide to the Ghosts of Lincoln. This book was written by Alan Boye and is a collection of some of the most famous ghosts that have taken place in my hometown of Lincoln, Nebraska. I've been to some of the locations mentioned in this book, and you know, knowing the stories behind the locations, they do feel a little creepier. That is something that I read through every year, and I love that book. Love that book. Another book, and one that I just finished for the first time actually, but I have a feeling it will be on my fall rotation, is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. This is a thriller novel. It's about Anna. She is an agoraphobic, and she witnesses a murder. I'll be reviewing all my September reads at the end of the month, so I won't spoil it. You'll have to tune in then. Which, if you'd like, you can hit subscribe and notifications, and you'll get notified once that video goes up. But anyway, I would highly recommend picking up Woman in the Window. It's very highly reviewed, very highly recommended everywhere. And it's a fast read, so you won't be disappointed. And then finally, I was inspired because I finished the series. I have also picked up The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I picked up the book, and I do plan on reading this, so I will have a review for you as soon as I finish this. Now, I promised you an announcement having to do with reading and books. For the month of October, my friend Lacey and I will link her channel in the description box below. We're going to be doing a buddy read. and the buddy read for the month of October, we thought it was pretty appropriate since it's the season of scary. We are going to be buddy reading Stephen King's Different Seasons. You may look at this book and think, gee, that's huge, but 3 very well-known movies have actually come out of this book. The first one is The Shawshank Redemption. The second is Apt Pupil, which probably isn't as well-known as the other 2. And the third one is Stand By Me. There are 4 stories in this book. The last one is called The Breathing Method. And I won't spoil it for you, but it's probably the most unusual and most weird of the 4. But we're going to do a buddy read of this. So if you would like to join us in our buddy read, please go follow me on Instagram. My handle is the same. I'll put it here. And if you let us know that you're interested, then we're going to be doing a discussion and a review of this book on both of our channels on Saturday, October 31st, which is Halloween. You can get a hold of us again on Instagram. You can drop me a comment in the comments below that you'd like to participate. And yeah, this is going to be our first buddy read, so we will see how this goes. I'm excited. I've actually read this book before and I really enjoyed it. The first time I actually read it, I read this book before Shawshank Redemption was even a movie. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this again. It goes pretty quickly, but yeah, I hope you will join us in our buddy read, and I look forward to hearing from you. Well, that's what I have for you today. My fall favorites in a lot of different categories. Let me know in the comments below what your fall favorites are. If you'd like to get in contact with me, I will include my Instagram handle. Please look me up. I look forward to speaking with you soon. I hope you're having a wonderful day, whatever it is that you're doing, and happy fall. We'll see you again soon.